In the last video, I showed you where the acupressure points were and how to use the basic EFT setup statement, even if, and tap on points. I wanted to remind you that you can up-level this a bit and use tapping to uncover even more of the things that are kind of driving your upset. We call them aspects. And I kind of think of it like peeling away the layer of an onion, that sometimes I'm aware that something's stressing me out, but there's really many things feeding into that. And if we can identify the specifics of what's driving all of that and then tap on those specifics, we're even more effective in crawling out of our mood and helping neutralize some of the intensity that's going on for us. So I want you to remember that when you begin, if you're just feeling stressed out, you can start with just kind of a blanket statement, even if I'm so stressed. But if you can identify what you're so stressed about or what you're so angry about, this technique will be even more effective. So an example for me might be like when I'm flying, I don't really mind flying on an airplane, but I don't like it when I'm not with my kids and my family. And so if I had to get on an airplane next week, I might be feeling stressed, maybe even like a 7 out of 10. But there's different things driving it. And for me, if I ask myself, like, what about flying by myself is so stressful for me? Things that come to mind are, well, I'm leaving my family, or my kids aren't going to be okay because who's going to make them breakfast? Or I feel like I'm just dumping on my husband. He's already got so much to do, and this isn't really fair that like he's got to carry the whole load next week. I might have a memory pop up of a time that I was on a plane and was in turbulence and the air mass drop. So these are all different aspects of it. And so when you have situations, I urge you to remember that very often there's many things feeding into the feeling you're having. And the more that you can just ask yourself, like, what about this? What about this is the biggest deal for me? What about this am I so angry about? And then you just kind of listen to yourself. And very often what will pop into your awareness is something. Don't worry if it doesn't make a lot of sense to you. The way that our memories and neural pathways work are like spider webs. And so sometimes things might come to you that don't make a lot of logical sense. But don't worry about it. And then what you're going to do with that is you're going to take that aspect that comes to you and just tap on it. So even if I feel guilty leaving my family, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even if I feel so guilty, I feel like I'm just dumping on my husband and he's already got so much to do. And I'm just kind of dialoguing with myself. And when you talk to yourself as you're tapping and just kind of say what comes to you, you're able to kind of unwind a lot emotionally what's happening, and you can really act like your own therapist. So I urge you as you're tapping to just stay aware. And if something comes to you like, oh, last time I flew, it was awful. It was so turbulent. Or, gee, I hope they eat a good lunch, even if I didn't pack it, right? So when we tap on these things, we can neutralize a lot of the things that are feeding into this one feeling, and we can start to neutralize and collapse some of the intensity of these things. So give it a try.